What's going on, guys? My name is Joey Franzo here with Flex Training Systems, and today I'm recording off of a different device. I'm using a laptop. I'm using typical iPhone headphones, so hopefully everything sounds okay. I tested it out briefly and it's been fine, so hopefully you guys can hear my beautiful voice nice and easy. Speaking of beautiful things, you guys are beautiful. You guys are amazing. You guys are fucking incredible. If you guys listen to my last video, somebody stole my stuff, and at the time that I made that video, it was shortly after it happened, literally the next day, and so many people had come together to, you know, toss me equipment so that I could continue to train. And you know, I said thank you in that one. I'm super appreciative, but it's Friday now, and my clients got together, and a couple other people that wanted to remain anonymous came together and just like chipped in, threw me money, even though I told them not to do it. I said, no, you don't have to do that, it's fine, I'm gonna be okay. And you, like, just gratitude and appreciation. I know I've been ranting on this topic, but it's just really, it's fucking me up, man. You guys are good shit. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna replace the gear that was taken. And the main thing that I was thinking, you know, getting these donations and everybody helping me out, was just, I can't let you guys down. I need to keep putting out good content. I need to keep producing, you know, strong lifters. I need to make my inspiring lifters even more inspiring. I need to make my younger up and comers and turn them into inspiring lifters. I just need to keep going, and you guys doing that really, you know, like when I posted initially what had happened, I was like, nobody gives a shit. It was kind of like a knee-jerk thing. Nobody's gonna care that anything happened to me, but then you guys definitely proved me wrong. So that being said, we're gonna get into some informative stuff now. Again, thank you guys times a million. I can't say it enough. So alrighty, here we go into the video. What am I talking about today? Today I'm gonna kind of expand off of that overthinking topic, and just kind of go into does it matter? Does it really matter? What am I talking about? Does it really matter? Does that small little thing that you're over obsessing about really matter? And I was kind of thinking about my own training and how I'm dieting right now. And, you know, the things that I'm looking for in training are no longer, am I getting stronger, you know, am I recovering and stuff like that. It's just, you know, am I holding on to as much muscle as I can? Am I holding on to the strength and the competition lift? You know, I'm just trying to hang on for dear life as this weight comes off. I mean, I am doing it in a slow, intelligent way. But I am on kind of a time limit. I have like 20 weeks. So I have about 8 weeks right now to get to where I need to go. And in about 2 weeks, if I'm not seeing the scale move, I might need to turn it up and then bail out and then start training for nationals. And then after nationals, I can do it again and get even lower. So the reason why I'm saying all this is because normally when I'm writing my own training, especially when I was younger, I would over obsess about really small things like sets, reps, how many days in between, you know, when I'm tapering for a competition, whether I have 1, 2, 3, 4 days of rest, whatever. And what I've just learned through experimenting and the tons of anecdote I get from my people, you know, is that it does not matter that much. I do think the margin of error is a little bit, depending on the lifter, you can be really wrong in some areas and still get a good result, and then in other areas you cannot make mistakes. You need to be on point with certain things, like people that have people that peak for like a short amount of time and then people that peak for a longer amount of time. You know, there are times, like for example, when I peak myself, I like to go by hours because maybe I'm traveling and the time is different. It just helps me be sharper. And sometimes when I send someone a program, like their final block, and I might say, try to hit this workout X amount of hours out, that might be over obsessing a little bit. But if they're the type of lifter where I feel like it matters, then, you know, I wouldn't be putting it in there if I didn't think it mattered. Then you have kind of like the main topic, the meat of what I'm talking about today, which is how much after your main competition lift does you know, your accessories matter. So how much do accessories matter? What percentage of progress are you getting out of your secondary movements versus, you know, like, does it even matter that you're doing accessories after X amount of volume work in your competition lift? For example, let's say you bench, you know, 2 times, 3 times a week, right? And you're going to get 80% results from that, right? And let's say as long as you don't go under 70% stimulus from you know, that movement, the bench press, a flat bench, you're going to be fine. You're going to make progress. You know, I'm speaking extremely general, and this isn't going to be the case for like everyone. But let's say we add in close grip benching and some shoulder work, and that gives you, the close grip gives you an extra 20%, and you know, the shoulder work gives you 5-10%. Now you're like really optimized. This is just like a hypothetical person. You're really optimizing your gains. You're progressing. You're coming into the week feeling decent, not 100%, but not shitty. And you're able to, you know, train and you get good results from that, whatever. But on the other hand, so the shoulder work there, you could probably not do it. And when we're talking about powerlifting, where you know, let's say your total is like 1,500, right? Well, 10% of that is it's small, but at the same time, it's not that small. Because if you add 10% to your total over time, it's going to get harder to do that. Maybe you only add 7, maybe you only add 5, then maybe you only add 3, then maybe you're only adding 2%. You know, but 2% out of someone who's got a 2,000 total, that's going to be considerable. And it goes up over, you know, the stronger you get, it's crazy. Like the stronger you get, the less of a percentage you add to your total, it's still going to be significant. Like for example, on my bench press, if I add 5 pounds to my bench in a year, I'm fucking happy, you know, because I've already reached like a pretty appreciable part, or like strength level on that lift. So anything else that I get, it's like you're just getting into those like absurd, you know, levels. I'm not saying I'm a absurd lifter or anything. There are guys like my buddy Garrett Blevins who benches way more than me. He does everything. He does everything more than me. But you know, and I mean, he'll tell you, like, if he can bench 500, then 505, then 510, you know, for then 515, it's like, you know, that extra 5 pounds means a lot. And if he needs to add in one small movement or add another day of benching to get that extra boost, he can. But my main point is, if you're doing your competition lifts and you're getting, and they're hard, and you know, you're feeling like the training is somewhat difficult, or you're getting work done, or you're disrupting homeostasis enough to create progress, then everything else that you do after that, so your front squats, your high bar, all that other stuff, it may or may not, depending on the individual. And this is the hard part about training, because there's never just like a finite answer. You can get close to it, but it can always change. The human body is always, you know, adapting and changing, and you know, we can get into resensitizing and desensitizing yourself to training, and how you can make what you've done before more effective by simply just not doing it. But I just don't want lifters stressing over like the little things. If you've got your bread and butter in there and you want to do the little extra stuff for aesthetics, that's probably a good idea for like kind of prehab rehab. You're not going to have as many weak areas. Maybe you hit a misgroove and you don't kill yourself. Whereas, you know, if you just do the big three because that's all you have time for, you're probably going to get really strong. And there are people that would argue that that's better than doing anything else because all your recovery is going to go only towards your big three. I've seen good results both ways. The first time I just did competition stuff after doing all the other, you know, dropping all the other accessories, I saw like a huge initial boost. But I think that was just kind of like it's almost like when people that do full power do bench press only, they see their bench take a huge jump because all their recovery is going towards that one thing. Whereas, you know, we are one organism. We can only recover from so much in a week, in a month, and whatever. And, you know, you're just stressing that system with the more that you do. But then we get into like priorities and what do you care about? You know, do you want to look a certain way or do you not give a shit about that and you just want to be strong? So basically, you want to ask yourself how much. I'm saying that if you're doing your competition lifts and you're getting results from that, and you want to add more, or you're paranoid about not doing a certain accessory, I'm telling you, like it's not going to matter that much, and it has to be you have to prioritize. You know, come to your own conclusion as to what you prioritize. So if your priority is to be good at the bench press, you need to do bench press. If your priority is to be good at the incline bench press and kind of work on your bench press, then you might want to do incline first. But you're not going to be able to, you know, say, I want to have the best possible incline bench I can have and the best possible pause bench. You're probably going to be like somewhere in the middle. I always say like focus on one goal, focus on, you know, pushing. Like right now, when I'm dieting, the goal is to be in a deficit and to lose body fat. The goal is not to squat 700 pounds. If I wanted to do that, I would have just stayed 120, and I probably would be there by now. But I'd probably hate myself because I'd be a fat blob. So, yeah, guys, I'm going to try to wrap it up here. Just try not to worry so much about, like, the first movement of the days are going to be your competition lift, and then, you know, after that, the more that you do, the more tired you get. The less you're going to get out of those additional movements. I mean, obviously it depends what we're talking about, but if let's say you're doing, you know, like competition low bar squat, and then you're going to do like high bar squats after. I mean, do you really need to do those high bar squats after? It depends on the person. Sometimes it's acceptable. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense. You're better off putting that on another day or just not doing it at all. You might as well just go home. You know, like last example, today, for example, I'm going in, today's my middle bench day. I'm not trying to push it. My RP is going to be around 6. I'm just going to hit my flat bench. I'm going to get out, go do some incline bench. Why am I doing incline bench? Because my anterior delts get a boost from it. And if I'm dieting, I don't want to look like a complete fucking loser. You know, just a guy with pecs, triceps, and some posterior chain I want to at least have somewhat of a, you know, I look like I lift. So that's why I'm doing it, and then I'm getting out. The goal is not to push on my other 2 days where I have my sets of 8 and my sets of 4 and sets of 3. Those days, my RPs are higher, and I'm focusing on, you know, not just feeling the movement and practicing, but actually creating a stimulus, creating that overload. You can call today like a recovery day, but I don't really like saying that. Because then you have people doing 5x5s at 80% and calling it a recovery day. It's like, how is that a recovery day? But yeah. So don't stress about those little accessory movements after the big lifts. The big lifts are what's going to give you most of your growth. Like I said, around 70, 80-ish%. Maybe even 90. Maybe even that, you know, maybe that's all you need. And then your accessory movements can be kind of tailored toward what you need. This video did get a bit ranty. I will probably do another one. Again, the topic of overthinking and just over obsessing about small things is like such a diverse, huge topic that I could go on about forever. And, you know, it's kind of hard to just organize it and compartmentalize it in one easy video. So, again, I hope you guys were able to take something away from this video, even if it was just one thing, even if it just gave you one feel. Go ahead and leave one like, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.